How's it going, everybody? Rob here, back with another video. So, I was kind of contemplating about responding to this. I really was. Because, in a sense, I haven't done a lot of responses until now. To some degree, I've kind of moved away from doing the response content or the commentary content. But it does seem like every time I try to take a step back, I always get pulled back in. I don't know why. I don't know how it happens. So I did receive a comment recently asking me to, let me know that a particular individual that I've responded to had come back and wanted me to look at their content. So I'm going to do that. Now, I'm going to say this. If I start doing this again, I'm going to make this very clear that if I start doing this again, it's not going to be all the time. If anything, it's going to be periodic. I'm not going to respond to every single video. Or if I am, it's not going to be immediate. I'm going to respond to a video every once in a while just so I can keep my sanity. Because there's other stuff that I would like to do in terms of content. But anyway, so K9Aversion. Now, for those who don't know, a while back I did respond to a couple of people that were part of the, as I called it, and I think a lot of other people called it, the dog-hating cult. Now, for those who don't know what I'm referring to, this was a group of people that were very radical in terms of their views of despising dogs. Even some of them going as far as wanting to hurt animals. And unfortunately, it didn't help that some of the individuals in question that were part of the ranks of this, community were people that justified, as far as I know, they could have been faking it, but with how they talked about it, justifying, the actions of mass shooters. And individuals like K9Aversion, to a very great degree, applauding some of the behaviors of some of these individuals that were her fans. Even some of them that were literally threatening people and threatening their lives. And, by the way, with K9Aversion, this is an individual who goes out of their way to try to denounce, why people should own dogs or cats and this and that. And in a way, with some of the arguments that she makes, even though she tries to make them very clear and make them precise as if she's actually saying something that's correct, a lot of the things she says can be rebutted. Just like a lot of the other people in the cult can be rebutted. And I hate to be that guy, but to an extent, you can't really take this person seriously with what they say. And I mean that very, very, very literally. Especially when you have an individual who thought it was sane to go out of their way to record themselves watching a dog across the road bark, claim that she will no longer be harassed by the dog, and proceed to use a air horn on the dog that's across the road of her. Not doing anything to her, not coming towards her or anything, just a dog barking. So anyway, this is a reaction to her video, or one of her videos. You do not need a cat to manage a house/rat problem. Oh boy. Okay, here we go.
You do not need to own an indiscriminate serial killer / invasive species / ecological nightmare.
I kind of it's funny. It's funny that she like kind of goes for these extremes. Like right off the bat, 5 seconds. Like it didn't take me long to pause. And by the way, this is a video that's like 3 minutes long, just about 3 minutes, like 5 seconds, like right off the bat. Indiscriminately serial killer / invasive species / ecological nightmare. I think I've said it before, and I'll say it again. You know, to an extent, because her one of her biggest arguments is attempting to claim that, you know, cats and dogs are invasive species, when in reality, if there was a species that was actually very invasive, I hate to say it, but it's humanity. Because at this point, we basically, not to sound like some crazed lunatic from freaking, you know, the save the environment people, but I mean, in reality, we are everywhere. We basically have almost taken over almost every corner of the planet. We are causing a variety of different pollution which is destroying our planet, and in a sense, we've killed many different endangered species, a lot of them being extinct because of us. So in terms of like an invasive species, what species is worse than humanity?
Otherwise known as a cat, to manage a mouse or rat problem.
So I'm gonna say this, and to read something that I found on online, because honestly, in terms of cats, I mean, historically they have been used primarily to catch mice and rats, and they've been referred to as a natural form of pest control, particularly on farms and ships. And this was mostly due to their innate hunting instincts, which allowed them to effectively eliminate rodents that were dangerous to crops' food supply, which, let's be honest, over time, over history, making cats valuable companions for, you know, farmers, sailors, etc. for, I want to say, thousands of years, probably till current day. There's a lot of communities that use feral cats as a way to deal with rodents, and in fact, evidence shows that, you know, the ancient Egyptians used cats for rodent control as well. So, in terms of a cat being, you know, used as a natural form of pest control, I mean, you can do that, or you could spend the extra money on, you know, other things to try to deal with the pest.
Please share this video with anyone who thinks you do. Here are tips for keeping mice and rats away from your home and garden. Repair pierced sewer lines or add backflow valves of the normally closed type to the lines leading from basement plumbing fixtures. These are perfect access points for sewer rats. Install metal weather stripping under doors and make sure windows are well caulked. Seal any cracks you find in the foundation. Seal all joints around pipes. Use fine mesh metal screens to cover dryer vents, fan intakes and outlets, and
okay, but just out of curiosity, I want to look something up real quick. Can mice and rats chew through metal? While mice and rats cannot chew through metal, most solid metals like steel, they can chew through softer metals like aluminum, lead, and copper. Especially if the metal is thin, meaning they can gnaw on certain types of metal depending on its thickness. So, let's go further. Can mice and rats chew through metal mesh? Mesh screens. While mice and rats cannot easily chew through thick, sturdy metal mesh screens made through materials like gravelized steel or stainless steel, they can potentially chew through thinner or poorly installed mesh. So, depending on this thing right here, depending on the quality of the metal and how thin it is, there's still a chance that a mouse or rat could chew through it. So, anyway, going on.
Roof vents. Keep your kitchen clean. Store dry foods including pet food in metal or glass containers.
It's kind of funny she adds this one. Like, if you're against pets, like dogs and cats, which ironically, I just noticed that the image that she's showing has a dog and a cat on it. Like, why would you mention this part when you hate cats and dogs? I mean, seriously. That's kind of ironic.
Cut back tall grass around the house so you don't provide nesting sites for rodents. For the same reason, remove clutter around the building. Keep garbage in bins with tight-fitting lids. If you have wood stacked outside, make sure it is around 30 centimeters 1/4 off the ground and away from the house. Don't put fatty or oily table scraps, eggs or dairy products in the compost bin, unless it is a sealed model. Line the bottom of the bin with a solid, fine mesh metal screen. Eliminate
Yeah, but that, like, how effective is that? Again, depending on the quality of the metal or how thin it is. Rats and mice can still, chew through it. So it just seems like the mesh is irrelevant if you don't have the right quality.
sources of water around the house, leaky taps, flower pots, etc. When the weather first turns.
Can I just say right now, no joke, and if you guys have watched the beginning of the video, then I have left a disclaimer saying that we do not condone, any sort of harassment. But I'm going to be honest, this seems kind of lazy. Like, the whole text-to-speech thing. It just feels lazy to me.
It's cold in the fall. Keep your doors properly closed at this time of year.
Rodents
will be actively seeking.
I mean, let's be honest. That's a no-brainer. Keeping your doors closed. I mean, besides having to deal with rats or mice. I mean, for all you have a lunatic with an air horn, wanting to blow out your ears because they think you're harassing them. Anyway.
Warm places. How to get rid of a rat or mouse infestation. Traps can be effective if laid in the right locations. The classic snap trap is best rather than glue traps, which are less humane because the rodents survive for a time. You can.
Yeah, but you can do that. I'm going to say this. You can do that. And I know, but a lot of people don't want to use the traps. They don't want to. I think in some sense, I would have to assume that some people have this instinct feeling of not wanting to kill, a helpless creature. Unless you're a sociopath, which is you're going to end up doing it anyways. In fact, it kind of reminds me of certain fans from K9Aversion. Sorry. I know what came over me, but for some people, I mean, like I said, they may not want to utilize a trap because they wouldn't want to put or do harm to the smaller creature. Which, again, is probably another reason why people utilize cats, because instinctively they are the predator to mice and rats.
Also use food laced with an anticoagulant rodenticide commonly known as rat poison, which kills rats and mice and causes their carcasses to dry up. Be careful, though these types of poison are hazardous to children and pets. If you opt for a baited trap, use strong-smelling foods like peanut butter or bacon drippings, mixed with oat flakes, raisins, or gumdrops. Reset traps to 3 weeks after the most recent captures to catch newly matured young. Check the traps every day, regardless of which model you use. Protection is a must. When cleaning areas soiled by rodents with soap and water, always wear rubber gloves and a HEPA filter mask. If you are dealing with a colony or need to eliminate one or more brown rats, hire a professional and authorized exterminator.
I mean, I will say this: whether you're using a trap or you're using cats and it's not working effectively as you want it to, then yeah, then call an exterminator. But I mean, like I said, you could still utilize a cat for doing certain things.
Must have a permit. See link in the description for tips on how to choose one wisely. If you
no, I'm not knowing. I wouldn't trust this person with 10-foot pole with information.
Suspect that rats are living beneath your home's foundation slab. Camera inspection of the drains may be necessary. Drain inspection specialists and some plumbers offer this service.
Yeah, that's where you're wrong. I mean, in the end, people are still going to utilize cats. I've seen certain communities where they have feral cats or cats that were from a shelter that are living in that neighborhood, and they deal with any form of rodent infestation. So, and like I said before, you can use traps if you want to. You can spend the money on traps. You can, try to do all these things. But depending on the quality of your deterrents, they may not even be effective. So, all in all, I understand some of the points she makes, but in reality, I mean, towards the end, it's a person's own choice of whether or not they use a cat for those type of situations. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and end the video here. Boy, was this fun. So thank you guys so much for watching. Truly appreciate it. If you guys can, please leave a like, comment, share, subscribe, all the good stuff. If you guys want to follow us on social media, links are in the description down below, as well as check out our daily content and the weekly podcast. With that being said, this is Rob Novakast signing off. Have a good one. Take care, and I'll see you guys next video.